State versus Michael Thompson.
Michael Thompson.
18-65. Arson, breaking or entering. Domestic battery, criminal mischief, and escape. Sir, I've appointed public defender's office to represent you. And let's see, is he appearing for an arraignment?
I believe so, Your Honor. Waive reading of the information and a plea of not guilty.
Okay, we'll enter that plea of not guilty, and when will we have a pretrial in there?
April 26th.
Your next appearance will be April 26th at 10 o'clock. Anything else?
I'll be over to see you before then, okay, Mike?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. State versus Valerie Hodges, 18-64. Possession of controlled substances with purpose to deliver. Ma'am, I've appointed the public defender's office to represent you. I think you're appearing for an arraignment. How does she plead?
Not guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll enter that plea of not guilty, and you need to appear before Judge Webb, another judge. And he will be here on February 22nd at 9:30.
Yes, sir.
Judge, if I might briefly just tell my client something.
Okay.
Valerie, you do not have a parole hold, okay? And I will speak with the prosecuting attorney about your bond, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State versus Phillip Bartlett, 17-433. Theft of property, commercial burglary.
Your Honor, there is no action to take in Mr. Bartlett's case today.
Okay. Very well, we'll leave it as scheduled.
Your Honor, I was gonna ask if I could get a bond reduction because I've been here 3 months and Cooper has made no attempt to contact me, discuss the case, and I've called his office numerous times over the past 3 months.
Okay.
Your Honor, I think that there's a parole hold situation unless
Oh.
something.
Yeah,
There's no parole hold.
Well, I tell you what, Mr. Cooper will check into that about the parole hold, whether there is one. Okay, he'll
What
be over to
about-
see you. Okay, you may stand aside, thank you. State versus Cody Haynes, 17-255.
Judge, we have come to an agreement on Cody, and I'm not sure if the court would like to have him brought over. It's going to be amended to contempt, and several of these revocations are. If you want to bring them over, that's fine. I think we could do it on Skype, though. It's up to the
Okay.
court. I've spoken with all of them, and they all know what's happening.
What's going to be the recommended sentence?
89 days in county jail, Your Honor. He's got some time already that he'll get credit for, obviously.
Mr. Haynes, are you admitting that you failed to report to the probation office as directed?
Yes, sir.
This time, sir, I'm going to hold you in contempt of court, sentence you to 89 days in the county jail. You may stand aside. 17-155, Brandi Barnes.
Judge, we're going to try to resolve Mr. Barnes today. We'll let the court know at the break whether or not we have an agreement.
Okay.
And otherwise, we'll probably move this to your March 1st date, but we'll play it by ear.
State versus David Fiss, 17-123. So I'm appointing the public defender's office to represent you.
Yes, sir.
Let's see, where are we at on this? the hearing was scheduled for today. Do we need to move it to another day?
We do, Your Honor, and that's by agreement. Mr. Chisholm and I spoke about this morning. If we could have him come back on one of your March reappearance dates. His revocation is based on 2 new cases that were filed in Division 4, so we're hoping to be able to resolve those.
We got March 1st or March 15th.
March 15th would give us more time to try to work it out, Judge.
We'll have a revocation hearing on March 15th. Thank you.
Yep.
State versus Cassidy Miller, 17-115.
Judge, this is another matter that I believe the state is going to amend that to a contempt, and I've spoken with Chastity, and we're going to enter a plea of true based on that agreement.
It's true, we're gonna convert it to a contempt and ask that she receive 89 days in jail.
Ms. Miller, did you fail to report to your probation officer as directed?
Yes, sir.
This time, ma'am, I'm going to hold you in contempt and sentence you to 89 days in the county jails.
Yes, sir.
That'll be all. You may stand aside. State versus Christopher, is that Knapp?
That's correct, Your Honor.
15-169, it's on revocation.
Judge, this is another matter where the state is going to amend that to a contempt proceeding, and we'll enter a plea of true based on failure to communicate with probation.
That is accurate.
Sir, did you fail to report the probation officer as directed?
Yes.
Okay, you sent you to 89 days in the county jail for contempt of court. Thank you.
I'll give him $5,000.
State versus Andrew Morris, 17-175. Mr. Morris, I'm looking at a police statement here. Have you gone over this?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign this police statement?
Yes, sir, I did.
Do you feel you understand the matters set out in this police statement?
Yes, sir.
You understand the charges against you and the range of penalties for conviction?
Yes, sir, I do.
Are you pleading guilty to theft of property, impairing the operation of a vital public facility, and also theft of property and misdemeanor?
Yes, sir.
And in these pleas, you're giving up your right to have a trial and you're giving up your right to have an appeal. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir, I am.
Other than what's set out in this document, have you been promised anything to get you to plea?
No, sir.
Has anyone pressured or threatened to get you to change your plea?
No, sir.
Are you guilty of these crimes?
Yes, sir, I am.
What is the factual basis for this?
Judge, on or about November the 8th of 2016, the defendant would have entered the jail cell while incarcerated in the Baxter County Jail. He would have entered the jail cell along with a number of other people and stolen 6 honey buns and 4 packs of noodles from another inmate there. That was done under the guise of a threat that would have caused the disruption in the Baxter County Jail. That's the interference charge. And the theft charge is the felony charge of taking property of someone by use of a threat. That defendant, by the way, got a very bad black eye. It has been difficult to determine who exactly did that. But essentially, a man in jail was robbed.
Did you do this?
Yes, sir.
Man, this is still another man's theft of property felony, you're sentenced to 5 years in Department of Corrections for impairing the operation of a vital public facility. That being not false? Is that right? And it's a theft of misdemeanor, 90 days in county jail. You're sentenced to pay $200 in court costs, $2,000 fine, DNA fee of $250, $20 booking fee, $200 in public defender fees, $149.79 in restitution. Pay what you owe, the minimum rate of $100 per month, beginning within 60 days after your release. Good luck.
Thanks, sir.
This is a change of plea under Act 346.
All right. Mr. Mr. Elders, I'm looking at a police statement and some terms, conditions of suspension or probation. Have you gone over these documents?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you feel you understand what's set out in the document?
Yes, sir.
You understand the charges against you and the range of penalties if you're convicted?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty to breaking or entering and theft of property?
Yes.
Okay, by doing so, you're giving up your right to have a trial and giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Other than what's set out in these documents, have you been promised anything in order to get you to change your plea?
Nope.
Been pressured or threatened to get you to change your plea?
No, sir.
And are you guilty of these crimes?
Yes.
Okay. The factual basis is?
Your Honor, on or about March the 2nd, 2017, this defendant and another co-defendant would have entered a home belonging to a relative and taken items, jewelry.
Okay, you did this?
Yes, sir.
This time, sir, I accept your plea. On each count, you're placed on 5 years probation. You perform 100 hours of community service and comply with the other matters set out in the police statement, including writing a letter of apology to the victims. And it's been under 346. You'll pay $200 in cost, a $2,000 fine, a DNA fee of $250. $1,208.11 in restitution, $200 public defender fee, $20 booking fee. Pay what you owe at the minimum rate of $100 per month, beginning within 30 days. Payments are made to the Sheriff's Department here in Baxter County. You'll see the probation officer. Good luck.
Thank you.
Kelly Howard, 17-3-17, controlled substances, paraphernalia, driving unsuspended. Sir, I'm looking at a police statement here. Have you gone over this?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel you understand what is in the police statement?
Yes, sir, I do.
Do you understand the charges against you and the range of punishment if you're convicted of those crimes?
I do.
Are you pleading guilty to possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and driving on a suspended license?
Yes, sir.
By doing so, you give up your right to have a trial, you give up your right to an appeal. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Have you been promised anything other than what's in this police statement?
No, nothing at all.
Okay. Have you been pressured or threatened to get you to change your plea?
No.
Are you guilty of these crimes?
Yes, sir.
Judge, this arises out of a traffic stop that occurred here in the city of Mountain Home on August the 3rd of 2017. While doing a traffic stop, this gentleman was found to be in possession of .29 grams of methamphetamine and a baggie containing residue of methamphetamine.
Is this true,
He was
sir?
also driving on a suspended license.
Is this true?
Yes, sir.
This time, sir, accept your plea, adjudge you guilty for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia. On each, you're sentenced to 4 years in the Department of Correction, 1 day in the county jail for driving on suspended, all to run concurrent. You pay $200 in cost, a $2,000 fine, DNA fee of $250, $20 booking fee, $200 in public defender fees, drug crime assessment of $125. Pay what you owe at the minimum rate of $100 per month, beginning within 60 days after your release. Payments are made to the Sheriff's Department here in Baxter County.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you.
17-441, Kendrick Seabury. Controlled substances, paraphernalia, criminal trespass.
Judge, we're gonna enter a plea of no contest on the criminal
Contest.
trespass.
Mr. Seabury, I'm looking at a police statement here. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Have you gone over this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel you understand what's in the police statement?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the charges against you and the range of penalty if you're convicted?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading no contest to possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and criminal trespass?
He'll plead no contest just to the criminal trespass charge.
Oh,
And guilty
well.
to the possession charge.
so he's pleading guilty to possession of methamphetamine and paraphernalia,
Yes, sir.
no contest to criminal
Yes, sir.
trespass. Entering your pleas, you're giving up your right to have a trial. You also give up your right to an appeal, do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Have you been promised anything other than what's in your plea statement?
No, sir.
Has anyone pressured or threatened you to get you to change your plea?
No, sir.
And the two felonies you're guilty of, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What did he do?
Your Honor, on or about November the 28th of last year, the Mountain Home Police Department was asked to check a piece of property, a piece of rental property that was supposed to be vacant. And when the officer made contact with the property manager, they checked the house, and the house was empty. However, when they opened the garage, they would have discovered Mr. Seabury and another woman by the name of Jessica Raymond asleep on a mattress on the floor of the garage. And that's when the officer went in and woke them up. Upon waking them up, they would have found, during that encounter, the officer would have found 0.9 grams of methamphetamine and a glass smoking pipe with residue.
Okay. So is it true you were in possession of some methamphetamine and drug paraphernalia?
Yes, sir.
This time, sir, I accept your pleas and judge you guilty. On each felony, you're sentenced to 3 years in the Department of Corrections. On the misdemeanor, 1 day in the county jail. Those will run concurrent. You pay $200 in cost, a $2,500 fine, a DNA fee of $250, $20 booking fee, $200 in cost, and a drug crime assessment of $125. Pay what you owe at the minimum rate of $100 per month, beginning within 60 days after you're released from incarceration. And he's entitled to credit for time served. It says since December 4th, is that right?
That'd be about right, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck. James Sneer, 14-211, scheduled for revocation hearing.
That's correct, Judge. We're gonna continue that hearing for 60 days. We'll take the time on that as far as the requirement that it be heard within that time frame for review.
Very well. April 12th, April 26th.
April 12th is fine. Is that okay, Kerry?
That's fine with me. Your Honor, we had a Mr. Snurr was, I guess this occurred back in 2015. This is a result of a criminal initiative in the first degree. This was the burning of an outbuilding. And we actually had a hearing on restitution. But for some reason, while Mr. Snurr has paid his court costs and his fines, there's been no payments on his restitution. Although I will say the payment sheet at the sheriff's office says to be determined. And I thought we had a hearing here. In fact,
We did have a hearing.
and I thought the court entered a ruling on that, and I don't know why that number's not been transposed to the sheriff's office, but we'll check on that.
Okay.
And we'll have that for you when we come back in about 60 days.
Julianne McMeechan. Now I'm looking at a police statement and some conditions of suspension or probation. Have you gone over these? Do you feel you understand what's set out in these documents?
Yes.
Do you understand the charges against you and the range of penalties if you're convicted?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty to possession of drug paraphernalia, 2 counts?
Oh, I plead guilty to that. Yes.
Okay. By doing so, you're giving up your right to have a trial, and you also give up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Are you entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
Other than what's in these documents, has anyone promised you anything or to get you to change your plea?
No.
Has anyone pressured you or threatened you to get you to do this?
No.
Are you pleading guilty to these crimes because you're in fact guilty?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do?
Your Honor, this arises out of an occurrence that took place on January the 25th of this year. This was during a probationary compliance visit on Ms. McMeechan, who was a probationer. She had been living at a residence here in Baxter County for the previous 2 weeks. Inside that residence were numerous items of drug paraphernalia, smoking devices used for smoking methamphetamine, digital scales, numerous plastic baggies,
Okay. Ma'am, were you in possession of these items?
Yes.
Okay. This time, I accept your plea, adjudge you guilty, placed on 5 years probation on each, a condition of which is you do serve, or you're sentenced rather, to 1 year in the community corrections center. This will run concurrent. You pay $200 in cost, a $2,000 fine, a DNA fee of $250, a $20 booking fee, $200 in public defender fees, and a drug crime assessment of $125. Pay what you owe at the minimum rate of $100 per month, beginning within 60 days after your release, and you make your payments to the Sheriff's Department here in Baxter County.
Okay.
Do y'all need to see her? Okay.
Yes. That'll be on your sentencing order, how much time you've been in. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thank you.
That brings us to Ryan Lindsay, 17,389. Sir, I'm looking at a police statement here. Have you gone over this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you feel you understand what's in the document?
Yes, sir.
You understand the charges against you and the range of penalties if you're convicted?
Yes, sir.
Are you pleading guilty to possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia?
Yes, sir.
Okay, by entering these pleas, you're giving up your right to have a trial, you're giving up your right to an appeal, you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Are you entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Have you been promised anything other than what's in these documents?
No,
Okay.
sir.
Have you been threatened or pressured to get you to do this?
No, sir.
Okay. And you're guilty of these crimes? That's true?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did he do?
Judge, on September 27th of last year, authorities would have conducted a search warrant at this gentleman's home, and they would have found him on his person. They found approximately 2.5 grams of methamphetamine. Inside the residence were numerous empty baggies, digital scales, and a mirror.
Okay, this is true, sir? Okay.
Yes, sir.
This time I accept your plea, adjudge you guilty on each count. You're sentenced to 6 years in Department of Correction to run concurrent. You pay $200 in cost, a $2,000 fine, a DNA fee of $250, $20 booking fee, $200 in public defender fees, drug crime assessment of $125, extradition of $235. Where was he at?
Are you out of state?
Hmm?
I don't think that's correct.
Is that not?
Yeah.
Where were you arrested? Were you in Arkansas and arrested?
Yes, sir.
What county were you in?
Baxter.
Okay.
I was in my house.
That's a mistake, Judge.
Okay.
Well, the extra that makes sense. This is 13118.
That would have been a court date.
Yeah, that's not right.
Well, anyway.
Judge, that needs to be whited out.
Okay.
That's not correct.
Pay what you owe to minimum rate of $100 per month, beginning within 60 days after your release. Make your payments to the Sheriff's Department here in Baxter County. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.